Berta be able Bende be able nenggang nederji italu Notsum fashe chati adang lemum no foye jisme Ae mesengkengka leloafali Ae mesengkengka Bilaumi.
My dear brothers and sisters, welcome. Today, I want to talk to you about the power of thinking beyond today. I want to talk about planning for the future. If I ask you where you see yourself in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 or in 30 years, I know most of your answers will be, I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but you are talking about what will happen in 10 years. My brothers and sisters, I think you should be able to know your future. I know and I believe we are not God, but you must be able to predict who you will become in the future. You should be able to know what you will achieve in 5 years, in 10 years, 20 or 30 years. Today, if you do not know your future, you are already a failure. Because if you don't know what you will achieve in the future, now, there is no way you are going to achieve it. Because it is by knowing what you have to achieve that you will start planning to achieve it right now and you start working hard to achieve it right now, that you can achieve it in the future. Too often, we live only for today. We think about what we can gain now, what we can spend now, what we can enjoy now, but we forget about tomorrow. We only focus on short-term profits, on quick money, on instant gratification, while the rest of the world is planning for the next generation. They are planning for the next century. And that is why Africa is left behind. Not because we lack resources, not because we lack intelligence, but because we lack long-term vision. Well, I cannot blame the young generation in Africa. I cannot blame us. I cannot blame ourselves because we inherited this mindset from our forefathers. But we must change it. We must understand that things have changed. The short-term thinking we struggle with today did not start with us. We inherited it from our ancestors. Our ancestors lived in a different world, and today we are in a different world. They did not need to worry about the future the way we do today. For them, life was very, very simple. They grabbed lands, farmlands, for free, not even for investment, but for their wives to work in agriculture. They practiced culture, traditions. They learned survival techniques suited for their time. Their wives worked farms, cooked, and raised the children. And the men focused on immediate needs. In those days, long-term planning was not necessary. Nature provided everything. The land was plentiful. Life moved at a different pace. The biggest concern was getting through with the present. All they had to focus about was the present. They did not need to think about the future. They had no reason to prepare for the next century. And that is why today many of us still have this mindset in our blood. So it is not our fault. Because for generations, our people never had to think about what will happen in 50 years, in 100 years, or in how many years ahead. But my brothers and sisters, things have changed. Times have changed. The world is no longer the same. If we continue to live with the same mindset as our ancestors, we will be left behind while others will build the future. We cannot rely on nature alone anymore. We cannot be fighting for immediate needs only anymore. The world is moving on with new technology, new industries, and innovations. We must be part of it. For every second that counts, the future is approaching. For every second that passes, the present becomes the past, and the future moves closer. Who you are today is the result of decisions you made many years ago. If you are a doctor today, it is because you went to school for so many years to study medicine. If you are a carpenter today or a tailor, it is because you spent a lot of years learning carpentry or tailoring. Whoever you have become today, you planned for it long time ago, so many years ago. Even if you did not realize it at that time, that is what happened. But if you have done nothing today, if you have achieved nothing, or if you are doing nothing, it is because you did not plan well or you did not plan at all. So remember this, my brothers and sisters. Whatever you do today, you are planning for the future. The same way as whatever you have achieved today is the result of what you planned so many years ago. So what you are doing now, you are going to see the result in the future. The future is not a mystery. Your future will depend on what you are doing right now. If you waste your time today, you are wasting your future. If you invest in yourself today, your future will be great. I really want to emphasize on the difference between the wealthy and the struggling. Here it is. For example, look at the wealthiest people, the wealthiest nations. What do they have in common? They think ahead. They think ahead of time. They plan ahead of time. They invest in the future, not just in the present. They build businesses that will last for generations, not just for today. They develop industries. They build a system that will continue to grow even when they are gone. Meanwhile, in Africa, we focus on quick wins, making fast money instead of building lasting wealth. We focus on making fast money. We focus on spending all we earn instead of saving and investing. We focus on thinking only about today instead of planning for tomorrow. If we have already failed today, if we do not like our life today, it is because we failed to plan long time ago. So let us take this opportunity now to plan for the future. Know that what you are living now, it will soon just become the past. So plan well for the future instead. Focus more for the life you want to become. Focus more for the life you want to live in the future. In the Western nations, they plan for the future. While in Africa, we focus on immediate necessities. In the Western world, they build companies that will last. While in Africa, we build churches that will last. In the Western nations, they maintain their culture. While in Africa, we abandon our culture. In the Western nations, they give privilege to their citizens. While in Africa, we give privilege to foreigners. In the Western nations, they believe in collective growth. While in Africa, we practice individual growth. So we must break from this cycle. It is time for us to think beyond today. We need to start building the future. We need to understand that thinking long term is the key to African success. Not only the key to Africa's success, is the key for individual or for collective success. If you want to achieve something good, you must spend a lot of time planning for it. Anything you achieve now, you had the vision of it long time ago. So anything you want to achieve in the future, you need to have the vision now. You must have the vision now and you must have a plan working on it. Africa is a continent full of potential, but potential alone is not enough. We need a vision. We need a strategy. We need to start thinking like builders, not just like consumers. Instead of looking for shortcuts, we need to build sustainable businesses. Instead of spending everything we have, let us invest in industries, education, and technology. Instead of waiting for others to come and develop Africa for us, let us take charge of our own future. When we think long term, we create generational wealth. We leave behind a legacy, not just memories. Ask yourself a question. If you happen to die today, what will they remember you for? What will you leave behind for your community? So now let me talk about short-term versus long-term thinking. Let me give you an example. If you think short-term, you will spend all your money today. But if you think long-term, you will save your money, you will invest, and you will create opportunities for the future. And the opportunities that you create will not impact you alone. It will impact you, your surroundings, your family, and even your friends, your community in general. A country that thinks short term will import everything and depend on others. That is Africa. But a country that thinks long term will develop its own businesses, industries, will produce its own goods, and control its own economy. We must stop thinking like survivors. We should start thinking like builders, builders of world. So how can we start building for the future? Here is the plan. So first and first, we need to start investing in our knowledge. We need to learn new skills. We need to read books. I know reading is not in our blood, but we need to force ourselves into reading, because the more we read, the more we acquire knowledge. We need to educate ourselves, and we need to educate others. The future belongs to those who prepare for it. So the next step is to save and invest wisely. Once we have acquired knowledge, we need to use this knowledge to save and invest wisely. Don't just work for money, but make money to work for you. You should be able to make money work for you while you sleep, because money will never get tired working for you, and it will never stop. Only if you invest wisely. Think about the next 10, 20, or even 50 years. Support long-term projects. We should not only focus on short-term projects. We need to buy African businesses. We need to invest in local industries. We need to promote innovation that would benefit the future. Then the next step also is to teach the next generation. Our children should grow up knowing that their future is in their hands. They should not grow up knowing that they will need to travel abroad before succeeding. No, I am not saying they should not travel abroad, but they should not know that that is the only way forward. That is the only way to success. We should not bury that into their mind. So we need to think beyond ourselves. Think beyond yourself. The future is not just about you. It is about your family, your community, your friends, your siblings. In short, and the next generation of Africans. The future is now. Will you be part of it? If we want a stronger, richer, and more independent Africa, we must start today. Every great nation, every successful person, every powerful industry, they all started with a vision for the future. So a vision alone can impact the future. What will you do today that will make life better tomorrow? What will you, as an African, do today that will shape the next 100 years? The future is coming, whether we prepare for it or not. As time is counting, the future is approaching. The question is, will we shape it, or we will let others shape the future for us? It's time to think beyond today and build for the future. Africa's time is now. Let's rise together. Thank you.